Hi everybody! Welcome back to another story time with me. Have you guys ever watched some Disney movies? Oh, you have? Well, what kind of Disney movies did you watch so far? Really? Wow, some of you guys might be a huge fan of Disney. Well, today, in honor of the live action movie Snow White is streaming this year, especially on Disney Plus, I got a perfect story for you to listen and read along with me, which is this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So, do you want to read the story with me? Awesome! Here we go. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. One day, in a small country, the queen has a baby. Everyone is very happy. The baby has got pink cheeks and black hair. Her skin is very white. Aw, look at the baby with pink cheeks and black hair and white skin. So the king and queen say, let's call her Snow White. Snow White, that's a cool name. But Snow White's mother gets ill and dies. Oh no. The king is very sad. I must find a new mother for Snow White, he says. A year later, he marries a new queen. A new queen? Cool. But the new queen is not a good woman. She doesn't like Snow White. Ooh, it must be an evil queen. Ooh. The queen wants to be the most beautiful woman in the world. Is that so? Every day, she asks her magic mirror. Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the world? The mirror says, you are, dear queen. The queen? I don't think the queen is very beautiful. Now, Snow White is 13 years old. She's very beautiful. One day, the queen asks her magic mirror, 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 who is the most beautiful woman in the world? The mirror says, Snow White is the most beautiful woman in the world. The queen is very angry. She speaks to a hunter. A hunter? You must kill Snow White, she says. Take her into the forest, then bring me her heart. Ooh, very evil queen. The hunter takes Snow White into the forest, but he doesn't want to kill her. Go away, he says. Run to the forest, but don't come back. The queen wants to kill you. Snow White is very afraid, and she runs away. The hunter kills an animal, and he takes its heart to the queen. When she sees the heart, she's very happy. Ha ha ha! The hunter killed Snow White, she says. Now I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. Ooh. In the forest, Snow White runs and runs. She is lost. Where am I? She cries. Then she sees a little house. She goes into the house and she sees 7 little plates on a table and 7 little chairs. She also sees 7 little beds in the bedroom. Snow White is tired and hungry. She eats some food from a plate and she drinks some water from a cup. Then she goes to sleep in the biggest bed. Some dwarves are in the house. Ooh, some dwarves. Look, there are some dwarves. Every day they dig to find gold, and at night they come back to the house. But tonight, something is different. Where's my dinner? Asked the first dwarf. Where's my drink? Asked the second dwarf. Who's on my bed? Asked the third dwarf. We think we know. Oh, who's in the bed? Snow White wakes up and she sees the 7 dwarves. They're smiling, and Snow White isn't afraid. Oh, they're smiling. Those are very nice dwarves, don't you think? She tells them about the Bat Queen and the hunter. The dwarves say, "You mustn't go back to the palace. You must stay here with us." "Oh, thank you," said Snow White. "I will cook and clean for you. You will be happy." They are very nice dwarves, don't you think? At the palace, the queen is very happy. She thinks Snow White is dead. No, she's not. She's alive. One morning, she asks her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the world?" The mirror says, "Snow White is the most beautiful woman in the world. She lives in the forest. She lives with 7 dwarves in a little house. She is happy." The queen is very angry. "What? Snow White?" she shouts. "Snow White is alive? I will go into the forest. I must find her. I must kill her." The queen thinks. Then she has an idea. "Aha! I can be an old woman," she says. "I will wear old clothes." The queen wears old clothes and goes to the forest. Oh, the queen, they wear old clothes. Well, what is it in her hand? Oh, an apple. She must be having an apple in her hand. The queen finds Snow White in a little house. "Hello, beautiful girl," she says. "Look at this lovely red apple. It's very tasty. Come and eat it." Snow White wants the apple. The apple looks very tasty. Snow White takes the apple and she bites it. But then she falls down. There is poison in the apple. Poison? The queen kills Snow White with the poison. Uh-oh. There was poison in the apple. The queen laughs. "Yeah, I killed her," she shouts. The 7 dwarves are thinking for gold. They hear the queen and they ran to the house. "Snow White!" they shout. But Snow White doesn't speak. She's dead. Oh, the evil queen killed Snow White with the poison apple. Very evil queen. The 7 dwarves are very sad. They are crying. They put Snow White in a beautiful glass coffin. Oh, the coffin! All the animals in the forest came to see Snow White. They are crying. They are very sad. "Snow White is very beautiful," says the dwarf. What are we going to do? One day, a prince comes to the forest. Oh, a prince! He sees Snow White. "She is very beautiful," he says. "I want to take her to my palace. I can't live without her." The 7 dwarves say that he can take Snow White to his palace. They lift the coffin to give it to the prince. But a dwarf falls down, and the glass coffin breaks. Snow White falls onto the ground. The poison apple comes out of her mouth, and Snow White wakes up. She finally wakes up! She opens her eyes and sees the dwarves and the prince. Everyone is happy again. The birds are singing and the dwarves are dancing. The prince says, "My beautiful Snow White, will you marry me?" "Yes, I will," says Snow White. Snow White and the prince are getting married. Nice. The Bat Queen is in her palace. She asks her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the world?" The mirror says, Snow White is the most beautiful woman in the world. She is happy. She will marry the prince. The queen is very angry. She breaks the mirror and she runs away from the palace. Snow White marries the prince and they are very happy. The end. Wow, that was such a great story about Snow White and seven dwarves. And the evil queen tricked Snow White with a poisoned apple. Ugh, very poisonous, don't you think? Thanks so much for having story time with me.